as you're well aware, on February 24, 2022, Russia attacked Ukraine. One of their main targets was the capital, Kyiv. But in order for them to reach Kyiv, they had to pass through a number of smaller towns. One of these towns was Irpin.
You okay?
Yes, man, I'm okay.
Right.
I'm ready.
Good.
I'm ready to rumble.
We're going to answer back. We're going to massacre them.
So today, we're going to go together on a journey to and around Irpin and get a picture of how the city looks like a little bit more than a year after its liberation. So join me. This is the center of Irpin, and as you can see, it looks quite decent. It seems like nothing happened here. Of course, we're gonna go a little bit deeper and see how the situation looks there. So right now I'm still in the center of Irpin, in one of their parks, and it's unbelievable to think that a year ago, a little bit more than a year, here was apocalypse. And now, look. And this shows, in my opinion, the power of Ukrainian people. The power of... Okay, just got a little bit wet. But yeah, I was saying that this shows the power of Ukrainian people. This shows their determination. They don't want a conflict, they don't want a war. They just want to live peacefully, enjoy their lives, have a nice day out with their kids. But unfortunately, more than a year ago, Russians had other plans. So I'm very happy being here today and looking around and seeing just life. Really happy to see what's happening right now. I'm in the exact same park and I want to show you something. This is what the Russian liberation brought to this beautiful and peaceful town here in Irpin. And I'm afraid this is just the beginning. So the more we're moving away from the center, we're moving further into a part of the city that was completely occupied by the Russians. So look guys, I think these are bullet holes from the fights that took place in this area. And let's look around this one here. check these ones. I want you to imagine people here on 23 of February, they went to sleep thinking that the next day they will go to their jobs, go to schools, just mind their normal lives. And they woke up in the morning of 24 with sounds of explosions, planes flying above their head, helicopters, tanks approaching. And just a few days after, 27 of February, when Russians approached the city, this started to happen. So try at least for a second to put yourself in their place. This is what this war brought to the people of Ukraine, and unfortunately it still rages on today, more than 1 year and 4 months after it started. So as you can see, this is a very peaceful neighborhood, literally just a place where people live. And I want you to look in this direction right now, where I'm showing you, and I want you to explain to me if you see any military base here. Like, look around. Maybe this one. Yeah, maybe this is a military base. Probably that's what Russians were trying to hit, right? Because other than that, I don't see anything here. Just houses where people were trying to live their normal life. Look at these cars here. Do these cars look like some sort of military equipment? Look at the bullet holes in this one. Showing you inside. As you can see, just a normal car of probably a simple family here. And now it looks like this. And keep in mind that this city was liberated more than a year ago, and there are still things like this around. So imagine how things were during the days of the battles that took place here. These are 100% bullet holes from the fights that took place around the city. This is definitely one of the places where heavy fights occurred. Look, another car. Completely destroyed, of course abandoned. So look guys, this is how it looks like right now. So guys, I want you to look at this. something fell here, some sort of projectile which spread around, and look at the wall. Look at the damage it did. According to their own internal documents, Russians were supposed to enter the city of Kyiv in 72 hours. Now, fortunately, this never happened due to the relentlessness and bravery of the Ukrainian armed forces and the volunteer battalions. It is reported that a lot of the volunteers were learning how to use the rocket launchers provided by the Western allies on YouTube before striking at the vehicles of the Russian occupiers. Now, I'm walking past right now another destroyed building. So the rocket launchers I just mentioned were key to stop the Russian advance. Let me tell you how. They used the tactic employed by the Chechens back in the wars against Russians in the 90s. And that tactic was as follows. You destroy the first and the last armored vehicle from a column, and then those that are stuck in the middle will be destroyed by drones or artillery, every necessary mean, every possible mean to destroy them.
Striking images of Russian forces under fire facing stiff Ukrainian resistance. Drone video from the Ukrainian Defense Ministry showing a massive column of Russian tanks and armored vehicles just outside Kyiv hit in a highly organized ambush.
Video released by the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense showing a massive column of Russian tanks and armoured vehicles being ambushed as they drove towards the northeast outskirts of Kyiv. Driving on an open road, the Russians were heavily exposed and easy targets. Videos circulating online showed the Russian vehicles in flames. The Russians facing sustained artillery attacks by Ukrainian forces, with tank after tank appearing to be destroyed.
If they're trapped, the armored vehicles that are between the first and the last one cannot run. Or even if they're on an open road, they have to go on the fields outside the road, which most of the times armored vehicles will be bogged down in the mud, especially considering that they attacked in February, March, where the weather was still muddy, still rainy. So the dedication of the volunteers, not only of the professional soldiers, was key. Think about it. Today, you are working in an office or in any other place, you're just doing your job, and tomorrow you are on YouTube knowing that the Russian army is approaching, and you're quickly searching on YouTube how to use a rocket launcher, and then 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, you press the button and you destroy a tank or an infantry fighting vehicle. If this is not bravery or ingenuity, I don't know what is. Somewhere in the back, there is a bridge connecting Bucha to Irpin. In order to halt the Russian advance, the Ukrainian forces destroyed the bridge at the beginning of the war. In the meantime, the bridge was rebuilt. But when the bridge was destroyed, the only option for Russians to carry troops and armored personnel in the city was the MO6 highway. Of course, Ukrainians knew this, and they waited for them along the highway. It is estimated that Russia lost up to 200 vehicles trying to enter Irpin. I believe there are a lot of stories, some of them told, some of them untold, about what happened here during those days. But in my opinion, there is one story that matters most, which is the will and the desire of the Ukrainians to resist the Russian occupation, despite being outnumbered and outgunned. So thank you for joining me today. I will be forced to stop the video here. I'm pretty sure that you can already notice why. So I hope I will see you in the next one. Cheers!